Hello and welcome to Forex London Session live stream. Today is 23rd of August and and there is a lot going in financial markets. We will look at what is going through financial markets. First of all, we will set our bias looking at gold. In gold, if we look at monthly candle, the monthly candle is bearish. There is very high probability we are going to fill this wick around 500 pips away. And if I look at weekly candle, the previous weekly candle closed bearish and current weekly candle is pushing down. It has rejected like 100 pips from the lows. Still there is very high probability that we will continue to push it down just by looking at number of fundamentals. If we look at daily time frame, previous daily candle closed a strong bearish candle. It makes sense for current daily candle to create an upper wick first and continue pushing down. And if we look at H4 time frame, the previous H4 candle closed bearish with no wick at the bottom. I am waiting for some sort of resistance formation in this zone between 1737 and 1739 for potential down move. If I look at hourly time frame, I can see that the previous hourly candle closed below the wicks. There is probability we are going to push down like 70 pips in gold. Earlier on, I gave gold sell trades two chances, but I wasn't confident that we are going to drop like from there. That's why I closed my positions a bit too early, but now I'm waiting for resistance formation and maybe we get to execute sells to fill this range till 1730 area. So overall, I am very bearish in gold. The reason being US dollar is very strong currency at the moment. US dollar is showing strength in all pairs, and even if I look at Bitcoin is also dropping. The reason being US dollar is very strong. There are a lot of fundamental reasons we will try to look at and try to find the reason why US dollar is so strong that even gold is bearish and even Bitcoin is dropping due to US dollar strength. And for now, I am waiting for some sort of resistance formation in this area for gold to continue pushing down. We drew our bias by looking at daily time frame. Previous daily candle closed strong bearish. There is very high probability that current daily candle will flip bearish and continue pushing down. Also, we have this wick left to fill this wick around at 1730 area. So I do believe that we are dropping, and but we will also wait a little bit. London session will open in 1 hour from now, and if I look at GBP JPY starting from monthly time frame, the monthly time frame, if I look at current monthly candle, the previous monthly candle closed bearish. The current monthly candle have a rejection below. It rejected like 200 pips from the lows, which is which may be a which from which we can anticipate that we are not moving down, at least for now. We may consolidate in here a little bit, or we may continue pushing up. The current monthly candle has a rejection 200 pips below the low, and below the body and 200 pips from above the body. So in monthly time frame we are unsure where prices can move. And if I look at weekly time frame, the current weekly candle is bearish. The previous weekly candle closed with no information, but we have bearish weekly candle before that. So we can anticipate that we are moving down to fill this wick around 120 pips away. And if I look at daily time frame, and yeah, the daily time frame, I was anticipating these sells, but it was earlier on, so I executed these sells, secured like 35 pips from this trade. I am again looking for sells in GBP JPY. And if I look at 4-hour time frame, I can see that the current 4-hour time frame has continued to push down. And if we break below this wick, we are moving down in till 161 area. And if I look at hourly time frame, the current hourly candle has just opened now, and there is probability we are moving down. And yeah, if I look at in gold, I will set my sell stops below this area, below these wicks, just because I believe that we are pushing down in this range like 52 pips away. And let's continue our analysis in GBP JPY. In GBP JPY, we have two important zones at 161.600 area and 161.300 area, which is around 40 pips of range. I secured almost like 28 pips from these trades. I was anticipating this down move yesterday, that's why I executed these sells, but I closed these cells once we approach this support zone, and in an anticipation that we may consolidate in here and push down in Asian session. And I get to execute a trade later on, so I executed on this. भाई पंखा चलाया पंखा. So yeah, now I will just wait in GBP JPY. I will look to see if we can get some sort of resistance formation to continue pushing down in this like 40-50 pips of range, but I will wait for that. And if I look at in gold, I do believe that we are dropping. I do executed these two trades, but I didn't held them for long, else I would be like 2% profits for the day. Yeah, so we will just wait for London session to open. And if I look at news, there are a lot of news today. We have Euro French flash PMI news, German flash PMI news, and GBP news also, and US dollar news also in today. So we will wait for these news, but these are low impact news. And we will not focus on that, but in the meantime we will also look at how these news plays out. And if I look at gold, in gold we need to break below these lows for a push down. Once we break below these lows, I will set a stop loss of 28 pips. And yeah, there will be probability that we will continue pushing down. I should have executed a sell position right in here by placing a stop loss of 28 pips. but I am waiting because we are also approaching a potential zone in here. So waiting makes much more sense. If I look at Euro USD, Euro USD has again broken below 1.00 psychological number. It is like 100 pips below that number. So I am looking for buys once we break above this area till this range, like 40-50 pips of range. But on the in the meantime we also want some better confirmations. And if I look at GBP USD, we need to wait, and I am anticipating that we can get some buy trades in GBP USD. Let's see if we can get 10 pips from this trade till this area 1734. If we break below this area, we have 25 pips of range, and below that we have another zone at 1730, and we have this wick left to be filled in H4 time frame, so we need to wait. And yeah, I will just wait. I will wait, focusing in gold. Gold, on the other hand, if we break above previous M30 candle high, we are moving up in this zone, but I will not execute buy trades. I am only looking for sells. And let's look at Forex Live. Do we have any news regarding? It seems like we will break above previous candle high and we will continue pushing up at least 27 pips away till here, and if the volume is with us we can even continue pushing up till 1745 area. And I actually don't want to execute these buys. All right, I will execute buy once we break above previous M15 candle high. Stops will be around 25 pips, and we will then wait for sell trades to settle up, and then maybe we can execute sells. For now we will just wait. And yeah, stops will be around 26 pips in gold in an anticipation that we will continue pushing up. Ideally my trade was sells. I was looking for sell trades below this area, but just by looking at price action, if we look at the hourly candle broken above this area, we have created this support, and there is very high probability that we will retest this highs around 24 pips away. If the volume is with us, we can even continue pushing up till 1745 area. So that's why I will execute buys once we break above previous candle high, place a stop loss of around 20. Now we will just wait. We have placed our entries. I have placed sell trades based on my anticipation that we are dropping. We will not change our bias unless we break above 1740 area. Break and close above this area, then maybe I will change my bias. Other than that, I am anticipating sells, and I will just stick with my sell idea in gold. We need to break below these lows for prices to continue pushing down. And yeah, I guess I will not take any more trades other than that, at least for London session. So let's look at how these trades will play out. If it goes against us, we will just remove these trades or close these trades and come back later in New York session. Alright, we are up around 11 pips on this trade, and the moment I said that we are up around 11 pips on this trade, it just reversed to 6 pips. In GBP JPY, just by looking at price action, I can anticipate that we are dropping like 22 more pips in GBP JPY. But also keep in mind that there are newses today regarding GBP in around 3 hours from now. But the whole idea is, in my opinion, these are low impact news, and these are not volatile news in my opinion. But still be very careful of these news. And yeah, if I look at my initial risk on this trade is around $3. So if it went in like 75% profit, like 75% of $3, it makes sense for me at that point to take profits, at least some of the profits. If I say if I say so, we are in 11 pips profit, it will just drop to 6 pips, and we are in 11 pips profit, and no, it didn't. Let's see if we will activate our sell stops. All right, sell stops got active, and I guess so. Now the overall risk is around 9 US dollars, and if we reach somewhere near around 7 US dollars profit, we will secure some profits at that point. Hello, bro. How are you? I am fine. I hope you are fine too. Come on, man. Just drop. Gold, just drop. As we have executed our sells, now gold should drop. So if I look at my account, 4.8 US 88 US dollars is around 1% profit on my account. And I have risked around 9 US dollars on this trade, around 2%, and we will just wait. Candles are about to close in 5 minutes. We are rejecting from the low. Although we are rejecting from this low, and but I still believe that we are dropping. We may consolidate in here before dropping, but I will not change my bias for today. We are in sells in gold today. Other than that, we will just skip our trading day. We need to wait a little bit in here. We are 30 minutes before London session open. We are in pre-London session. We are in high volume times. There is probability that we are dropping. So let's see if that probability will play out in our favor today. And in gold, in GBP JPY, it's tough. I will say it's tough. We will just focus in gold. We will not look at GBP JPY. Alright, 17 pips in profits. I will close this second trade because it is a very late execution in my view, and I will let the other trade run. Alright, 20 pips. Close some percentage at in here. Put stop losses at break even, and yeah, there is probability that we are dropping in this range at 1730 area. So this position is break even now, and I am not anticipating at any point that we will break above 1736 area if we are to push down as per our analysis. So I am not anticipating that we will break above 1736 again. If we break above that area, then our bias will be, I will say, then maybe market has better plans, some better plans that we can't think of at this point. So at this point, this trade is now break even. I have let this trade run. It is running in 1.66 US dollars profit. It is risk free trade, and I will let it run. And yeah, we are up around 5 US dollars in profits today, and 1.13% of account. And if I look at our history, let's look at our account history starting from 22nd of in this week. I was able to make around 10 US dollars profit, around 2% of my account so far. These two trades were actually, these two trades I will say went in profits, but I basically didn't manage the risk. And if I look at previous week history starting from 15th of August to 19th of August, I made 55 US dollars in profit, 47 US dollars overall profit. It was around 5% of this account. And if I look at overall performance starting from 1st of August, and there are a lot of trades, a lot of mistakes, and I can now understand these mistakes. Overall, we are down around 40 US dollars in profits and 40 US dollars in commissions. Overall, we are down 81 US dollars starting from 1st of August. to overall, let's look at overall profits. We are down 71 US dollars. So overall, if I look at just by at my profits, I am down 3%. If I look at commissions, I am down 4%. So we will look to see if we can cover these losses. And if I look at GBP JPY, our bias has now completed. We have approached that area that I was anticipating that we can potentially approach. And it seems like volume is with us. We can even continue pushing down till this area at 160.600 area. So I guess I have closed my runners pretty early right in here. And yeah, this is the way things are. If I look at gold, in gold we are moving up. It may be a retracement, and if we are to move down as per our anticipated analysis, I am not anticipating prices will hit my break-even point. So I'm good on this trade so far, I will say. And if I look at GBP USD, we have broken below, and Euro USD is like moving down. So we will just wait and we will just look at gold, the pair that we have trades on. In around 41 minutes, we have French flash PMI news. Yeah, we have broken back inside 1736 area. And H1 can previous M30 candle closed strong bearish, and we need to wait for current M30 candle to close. If it hits our break-even point, that's okay. Other than that, we will hold this trade, and it is a risk-free trade. All right. If I look at GBP JPY, I have missed this move around 24-25 pips, but I guess I could have captured this trade if I let my runners run, but I chose at that point, depending on the information, that I should close this trade. So yeah, we will now wait. And if I look at GBP USD, we need to look at where prices can reach. If we look left, if I look left, there is nothing in H4 time frame, but if I look at daily time frame, there is some information. We are at this point first time after 2020, almost 2 years, 2.5 years ago. So we have this zone at I will just mark this zone. We are not trading GBP USD. Overall, we are bearish. We have broken below all these areas, and there is strong downward momentum just by looking at daily time frame in GBP USD. So there is probability that we are dropping till this area around 55 pips away, but also keep in mind there is GBP flash PMI news in around 3 hours from now. So maybe we are pushing down for that news to retrace this move, but just by looking at momentum, even if we push up on that news, I will be looking for sells if I was to trade, if I was to trade GBP USD. I'm not looking for buys at any point in Euro USD, GBP USD, and gold. The reason being US dollar is very strong, way strong. We can identify, try to analyze how strong this US dollar is now. If we look at, we are at the levels where prices were in 2002. So we are again at the same prices after 22 years, which is, I will say, there is something happening that I can not analyze fundamentally, but there is lot of strength in US dollar, and like buying Euro USD and GBP USD and gold is very risky. I will say if you are scalping, that's other thing, but for swings, buying gold or GBP USD or Euro USD could be a disaster in my opinion. But anything can happen. It is Forex market. We use our skill set to analyze where prices can potentially move, but anything can happen. It was just my analysis that I have shared. So I may be wrong, but that's okay. In gold, we will not close this runner unless it hits our take profit or if it hits our stop loss. Because I can see that there is lot of momentum, downside momentum in gold because there is lot of US dollar strength. So maybe we are pushing down. That's why I have placed my stop loss at break even and I am planning to hold this trade. It seems so the current M15 candle is open. It seems like we are pushing up, but one candle doesn't means anything. If I look at M30, the previous M30 candle closed, the current M30 candle is open, and almost 19 minutes left in this M30 candle to close. Like for most cases, there is high probability that this thing is a higher wick formation like this wick before we continued pushing down. So that's why I am holding this trade. But like if I look at large enough sample size, for most cases there is probability that this is higher wick creation for prices to keep pushing down later on. But for specific outcome like today, we may hit our break even point. So anything can happen. We need to keep everything in our mind before trading. And London session is about to open in 18 minutes. If I look at GBP JPY, this move down was around 70 pips down move has already occurred in GBP JPY. And if I look at gold and we have moved down like 50 pips. So in gold there is probability that we can move more, but if I only look at GBP JPY, it seems like the move for London session has already happened and we have missed the move. So we need to acknowledge that and we don't need to force a trade at this point. We need to wait. Maybe London session will reverse all these gains from Asian session. That can also happen. For that we want something on charts to execute on. Alright, 15-minute candle has closed. It has closed a strong bullish candle with little to no wick at the low. And there is probability that we will hit our stop loss. And we are not concerned about that because it's a risk-free trade. And for gold, my bias is sells. I am looking for sells even if it hit our stop loss. We have short bias in gold, looking for sells unless we break above 1740. We are not looking for buys unless we break above 1740, this area. And in GBP JPY, the whole issue is we are dropping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from previous 5 H4 candles. There was wick left to be filled. This H4 candle wick which has been successfully filled. So at this point we don't know where prices can go and from where prices can reject. But these are two areas at 161 and 160.600 area. I will say this area at 160.300, which is around 50 pips away. We can reject anywhere from here, and there are no sells. The reason being we have moved down a lot and there are no buys. The reason being candles are bearish at this point. Alright, in gold, we have hit our break-even point. I wasn't anticipating that my break-even will hit, but I guess this is the way things are. And at this point, there is nothing. We need to wait for 13 more minutes for this H1 candle to close, and then maybe we get something to execute on. The whole issue is gold started to consolidate in this area, but our whole bias was and it is still sells. So we will just wait. Alright, I guess so. The moves for London session is already over. Even London session hasn't opened yet. So I will wait for few more minutes before I will just call it a day, and I will see you guys later in New York session. I am planning to give this sell trade a second chance in gold. Once we break below current M15 candle low on next M15 candle, I may execute sell, and other than that I will just call it a London session and come back later in New York session. Alright, if I can show you right in here, I am planning to execute a sell position on next M15 candle like this. Once we break below this low on next 15-minute candle, I will execute sell for potential take profit till 1728. Other than that, my London session is over. Yeah, man. We will only execute the sell position on next M15 candle. Keep in mind, we will not execute this trade on current M15 candle. It seems like you know what? I will just wait for next M15 candle to execute this sell position. Other than that, we will just call it a London session. Wait for 5 more minutes and I should have executed position right in here around 8 pips above, and yeah, just a little bit of more waiting. We will see how current candles will close. Overall, I am in sell. You already know that my bias is sells. Yeah, in GBP JPY we are pushing through 161 area. and I feel bad that I have closed my runners way too early. But if I look at H4, my target was until this week fill. That's why I closed this trade. I started executing sells from this area, secured 40 pips earlier on, and later on I also secured like 25 pips, 32 pips from this trade. So this week fill was my target, which was successfully completed. So yeah, now we are just waiting in gold. Alright, at this point H1 candle has closed. It has closed a bearish candle, and I want to execute these sell trades so bad, but I have already taken 5 trades for today. These were not 5 trade ideas, it was like 2 trades ideas. So I was good. I split my risk around certain positions. Yeah, man, gold is dropping for sure, but the whole issue is we don't have any position running in gold. So we will, you know what we will do? We will just add more positions in our demo account in an anger and in a regret that we have missed a trade, and we will just call it a London session. So I will see you guys later in New York session. Until then, take care, have fun, and make sure not to over risk. Like you can over risk a lot on your demo account but not on your real account, so make sure your account survive for later amount of time. Until then, have fun, take care. I will see you guys in New York session.